1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello. Hey, welcome. Hello. I'm all right. Okay, sorry, we're a little late on the timing there. Usually I start streaming before the or start talking before the song's even over. But hello, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? I got to do something real quick. I got to take some drugs real quick. Actually, you guys can see me take drugs on the stream, which hopefully doesn't get me banned, but it's for my still trying to. Okay, So let me just tell you the rundown real quick. I haven't done a NIKO show episode in like two weeks, 2.5 weeks, because this sinus infection has really been effing me in the A. So it's yeah, I know, pretty rough, huh? You don't want to do something like that. That's not kosher enough. So taking some medication for, obviously I'm taking some like amoxicillin or antibiotics, and then I'm taking a steroid to help with the healing. So I guess I'll just do this real quick in real time. But I'm hoping everybody's doing well. I decided to do this pretty early in the day. I really don't prefer doing it this early, the NIKO show, but you know, it's been a while and since I've done it, and it's like just why not? You know, just why not? We have a lot to talk about today too, which is really great. I have 2 weeks of no NIKO show. I mean, there's plenty of gaming news to go around. I did find some really entertaining articles today, actually, that I'm really excited to learn about and talk about. I should always proofread my material on what I put on to the show, but sometimes I kind of just like learning it with you guys, or if you already know it. You know, if you're expecting me to be like this brainiac guy from the get-go, well, thank you. So I'm going to take my meds now. Alright, I took my meds. Ah, man. This stuff was hurting my stomach a little bit yesterday. I never take it on an empty stomach. That's just foolish. But, yeah. The medicine's been working, which I'm really glad. But, yeah, sinus infection sucks. I had the worst cough for the longest time. I'd like... My channel was a little bit stagnant, so I was just releasing some Let's Plays in the meantime for the 2 weeks or whatever. And that was, well, we all know how that goes. And then, you know, eventually I released some other stuff, and then I got to be streaming again. The last time I did the NIKO show was when the sinus infection was first hitting me, and I could barely like talk or anything. It was definitely a tragic. But yeah, like I said, doing a lot better, which I'm really glad. Medical science has come so far. How far has it come for you? Let me turn this down a little bit. Doesn't need to be that loud. If you hear a fan in the background, it means I got the AC running, so I don't sweat like a pickle. You don't want to sweat like a pickle. So the only thing that still needs to be removed from this sickness is this cough that doesn't seem to go away, and like it comes in like waves sometimes. It's like obviously in the morning and then at night. So it's just during the day it's okay. But it's definitely not. Trust me, it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. So if it does, if it does come like that, I do apologize. I never know when it's coming to, or either. It's really random. Really random. Okay, so without further ado, we'll start talking about the show instead of me, you know, being a little sick pup. But like I said, I do apologize if you guys haven't seen the NIKO show in a while. I haven't done an episode, you know, because some people like the show, you know. When I say some, I mean like a very few amount. For the people that come out, which I do respect and enjoy your guys' company. But like I said, yeah, I mean, it's no excuse, right? I mean, right? Science fiction shouldn't be an excuse. The show must go on, but it wouldn't have been pretty. Let's just say that it would have been like it would have looked like a Picasso painting, except not like a Picasso painting. It would have looked really like a bad Picasso painting, like him on a bad day or something painting. That's how I was looking and feeling. You know, it's like you don't understand. You just don't know. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So let me catch you guys up real quick on what I'm doing in the gaming world. So I beat Rogue Galaxy finally. It's made by a little 5 RPG game on the PS2. And I beat Far Cry 5 as well a couple weeks ago, or a week and a half ago. So that's really nice. You can see some episodes on the YouTube channel of what Date and I have done together. So really nice that we're able to beat those games. They're pretty big games, pretty long, but they're really Far Cry 5 was a lot of fun. I recommend you guys playing that game. You will find sheer enjoyment, 100%. I kid you not. Rogue Galaxy was an overall a pretty good game, except the character development was very flat. The story was, pretty decent. It wasn't bad. I did like the world that you were in. I liked the characters you were with. It's funny how I say character development, but I like the style and their personalities. They just never flushed out like how like you would see in like a Knights of the Republic game or Mass Effect game or a BioWare game. And the game notoriously has the worst end boss that you will ever fight in a video game. One of the worst. The worst that I've faced. And the most obnoxious end boss fight process. It could take you from 30 minutes to an hour to get to that end boss if you don't know what you're doing. Like, he's got multiple phases, and it's one of those things, multiple phase boss, and then you finally fight him, the boss, and then yeah, it's ridiculous how you do it. It's a giant mess. It's definitely bad, and the combat doesn't help. Rogue Galaxy's combat's pretty clunky. But yeah, I'm just glad I beat it. But now we're playing another level 5 game called Ni no Kuni 2, which is a great RPG, by the way. Already blows Rogue Galaxy out of the water because of it does everything Rogue Galaxy does, obviously, but better. And then what Rogue Galaxy fails at, this game just tenfolds it and corrects it. Although Rogue Galaxy came out during the PS2 times, still that's no excuse. Dragon Quest 8, anybody? Made by level 5 games. That was a perfect game. But I don't know. You know, development hell goes. So yeah, that's we're playing Ni no Kuni 2. Almost done with Persona 5. If you've been watching the stream and keeping up with it, I appreciate that. Persona 5 is still a ton of fun. I can't wait to finish that beast of a game. And then everybody who's playing God of War, I'm super jealous because I can't get it right now because I gotta save me money's up. But I will get it. Wait. But Ni no Kuni 2 is really fun. I mean, I love role-playing games. But a change of pace like God of War is really nice, just like Far Cry 5 was because it was a shooter game. But God of War looks and sounds to be really badass, and I'm sure it is badass, of course. But, okay, so that's it for what I'm doing in the gaming world or whatever, okay? So enough about that. We can finally... I said this before, we finally get to where it's really fun, to where I actually do what I'm supposed to be doing instead of just milking the time. Okay, so there's only one article from IGN today, okay, which is good because I'm actually just gonna start. I mean, I always go on IGN because I like the little small articles they have, and some of the times they have interesting articles that I like to talk about. I mean, that's apparent. We've seen on all my other episodes. So this one's going to be a, well. This one's going to be talking about something that's maybe eventually going to come out, just like Kingdom Hearts 3, is Final Fantasy VII Remake moves to surpass the original. Now, there's a title that you should not look forward to because whenever somebody hypes a game like this or something that's been in development for, forever, we haven't really seen too much. I don't know if it's a good idea to start saying things like that. We got to see more concrete stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, Square Enix is really bad with that. Like, they're really bad at showing really intricate gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3 and then their Final Fantasy 7. I don't know why they're so weird like that. They keep using the same footage over and over. Now, I do admit that Kingdom Hearts came out with this classic world gameplay where it looks like you're playing Game & Watch or something. Which it was only a minute long. I'm like, well, it's new, but I don't know. I mean, I know they're just working really hard on the game, so, and they don't want to just show you everything, I mean, they like to keep people guessing, and that's fine with me. Like, if I know the game's coming out, and they're not showing too much, but they have shown what it is going to look like and stuff, like enough trailers, I'm okay with that. It's whatever. It's fine. Because, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be good. I know the Final Fantasy 7 Remake is going to be good, so just leave it in their hands. Damn it, leave it in their hands. Okay, so A new creation not limited to a simple remake. Wow, who would have thunk that? I think any remake that's been wanted for over 20 years is never simple. Okay, according to a job listing, as originally reported by DualShockers for a battle planner, level planner, to join the project, the game will be a new creation not limited to a simple remake. The listing reiterates that FF7 remake is being developed internally at Square Enix. CyberConnect 2 was previously working with Square on the project. Last month, Square Enix posted a job listing for Final Fantasy VII Remake, seeking level planners to increase its quality another step higher. Game director Tetsuya Nomura posted a recruit letter last May, saying the team was urgently seeking additional talent to join the development team. Final Fantasy VII Remake was originally planned to be released in multiple parts. Whether or not that is still part of the plan remains to be seen. Yeah. Okay. So, I didn't know about CyberConnect 2 working on it. I think they make... I can't remember what remakes they've made. I'm sure they're like one of the top remake companies for big games like these. But, you know, the fact is that, you know, they're not working on the game anymore. So now it's just strictly Square Enix. So, shit. Like, hell. They're just, like, being real serious about this now. Now, you want to know my opinion is that whenever there's a studio shift within the development of the game, that's never a good sign. For one, it's happened with Mass Effect Andromeda. Right? Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, I guess you would say so. Or just like shifting a lot of resources to work on a different project while this other big project is just left in its wake. That's what happened with Andromeda. It had all this money and then all these promises. And that, obviously, I have enough videos on YouTube to like just blow your mind away. But if you don't know, yeah, Andromeda was just a giant disaster in game development. 5 years, $40 million. Yeah, you get the idea. So, and it was a complete fucking failure. And don't defend it, people. Okay, if you play it your first time around, yeah, you're gonna think it's okay. That's just what happens. Okay, but then once you beat it and you read about and you do your research on why you don't think it's the best Mass Effect, then you'll find out very easily why it's not. But not to get too into that, that's a different topic for another day. I hope, and I've already stripped that apart. But yeah, internal stuff like this, with shift changes, looking for additional help, shifting resources, studio changes. Yeah, it's a big deal when it comes to game development, and it definitely delays the project quite a bit. It can really put a hole in it. And it's really hard to fill it up. Especially when you're a company that's taking the reins from another company and kind of going where they left off. Yeah, it's a really hard transition period, to be honest, because you know you might have to learn how this new coding or programming or how they developed it, what they were thinking. You know, it's a lot of stuff. It's like you're a substitute. Well, you're next in line. Let's just say that. But I don't know why it's doing it at Square Enix. I guess there was an article on it, but whatever. Who cares? Just know that Square Enix is working on it, and yeah, hopefully it comes out to be. Hopefully it's good. Just hope it's good. I mean, PS4 exclusives are always good. For the most part, I have way better exclusives than like Microsoft, and I mean, no, the Switch is pretty good. Their exclusives are pretty great. It's just Microsoft that sucks a whole lot of butt. So PS4 is kicking some serious ass with its gaming. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Janilla Bell? How are you? Good morning. This is an early NIKO show episode, so you come and see me on a good time. I didn't have my coffee this morning, but that's okay. I got my H2O and I took my sinus medication. That's always fun. Okay, so that's Final Fantasy VII Remake and aims to surpass the original. So that's really fun. Okay, so this now I'm gonna put my pills down. See my amoxicillin. So now we're gonna. Sorry if that clipped the mic. So now we're gonna get to the meat of this show. I just wanted to do a little bit of a little tea and crumpet there, little breadcrumb there. We're actually gonna be talking about really cool stuff. Oh, I hope it was decaf. Was it decaf cool food? Like this drunken sailor guy. Okay, so this one. Oh, This is an actual thing. The eSports Observer is saying that Team Vitality opens. I keep holding these pills. Damn it! It's like a stress ball. I got an overdose. Opens training facility in partnership with Gaming Campus. That's pretty neat. So I don't know who Team Vitality is. It could be an MLG game group. Excuse me. Team Vitality's latest partnership puts a spin on the growing trend of dedicated esports training facilities. Gaming Campus is an academic esports project designed to train students and aspiring pros for careers in esports. I'll tell you how I feel about that. Team Vitality will send its players through Gaming Campus curriculum as part of their new partnership. Oh, happy birthday. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Federica? Oh, Federica. Okay. Happy birthday to you, amoxicillin. Happy birthday to you, amoxicillin. Happy birthday, dear to Federica. Happy birthday to you. Okay, just thought I'd do that because, you know, birthday is a good celebration of life, and I love life, pro-life. Okay, so that was a little nice thing we did there. Happy birthday. Esports training facilities are on the rise. NBA 2K League teams each have their own dedicated facility. Team Liquid partnered with Alienware to create its own practice arena and content studio. Today, Team Vitality has not only joined in the growing trend, but has taken it one step further. The French esports. See, I knew you'd like that. It's good. It's really it's good to go with your coffee, you know. It's a good little celebration. The French esports organization has partnered with Gaming Campus to develop a career-long program for its players. Now, they say program, like, is it like a university or something where they give you a bunch of prerequisites and stuff, and they're like courses or something, or are you just like? I have to see this. Like, this is something like I'll finish the article. Wait, is the article? It goes on a little bit longer, but. We'll finish it off. But I really have to see what classes they're taking, and kind of like when you go to like a university or a community college, and you know you have this list of classes you can take and pick. I want to see if it's like that, if it's legitimately like an actual like college, you know, with that type of stuff. Now, if it's just going there just to play games and stuff, and that's it, it's like, do we? I mean, really? I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to have a collective, so it's easier to meet up and do this stuff, but. You know, they talk about curriculum and stuff, and the curriculum is such an educational term for schools. Good. I'm glad. I'm always glad to make a fair lady's day. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, I just cut myself off. That was rude. Okay, so. Here we go. Okay. Gaming Campus is an esports startup that is building a dedicated campus for esports education. The campus has received private funding from a number of individual investors, including Julian Lapizzo, co-founder of the Apollo Group, and Vivendi co-founder Patrick Emile, located in Lyon, France. Oh, it's in France, okay. Oh, oui, oui. The 1,200 square meter campus will feature 3 programs. Okay, here we go. So, Gaming Business School is a management school that will train students for careers in the video game industry. I like that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now we're getting some concrete stuff. Gaming Academy is a program for aspiring professional players that will train in media skills, business development, and more. Okay, I like that. Gaming Guru is an open coaching service pairing professional players with players looking to improve. All right, that's a little like some coaching, some life coaching. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's like a, you know, it's like at a normal campus. You know, you have your classes and stuff, and then you have your actual sports, and you got your coaches and all that. That makes sense. And your teams. Team Vitality will send all of its players through the Game Academy course. Part of the course will strive to equip players for life after their playing career ends. Really? Playing career ends? I don't think it's ever going to end. You can literally, okay, it's just like reading and writing, or just really anything. I mean, I guess, you know, careers is stuff that you get paid for, and jobs, it's job related. But like, with a playing career, I don't know if it's ever going to end, because games are just going to get more and more like realistic and more innovative and different, you know? It's going to be way different in about 10 years from now. So it's like, it's like a musician, you know, like their music career is never over as long as they just keep playing. I mean, you honestly don't have to get paid for it, but you get the idea. But playing career, yeah, I don't know if that's ever gonna end, because I mean, they're like 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. I mean, there's even a old lady on YouTube that has a channel for just doing Let's Plays and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. And she made a career of that, and I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon, because especially because you can take this like way up and beyond. If you're like this professional MLG player, you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, you obviously be successful on YouTube, on Twitch. I mean, you can even write your own game book or something, and like how successful you were, like some people do, like a biography or something. I don't know. It's there's all kinds of stuff. Okay. Oh. Let's see. I don't know. Can they just stop calling it a sport? It's not a physical sport. It's an electronic sport. It's esport. I mean, they should just... There's just a gray area. Let's just say that. Like any high-level sport, some careers are successful, and others less so. As professional sports practice, esports is no exception to the rule. Okay, would you like to explain why it's no exception to the rule? It is therefore essential to offer athletes a I've never even heard... hold on a second. I'm going to learn this word right now. I've never seen that word in my entire life, so 1 second. I want to get this right. Pedagogical.
Pedagogical.
Pedagogical. Okay.
Pedagogical.
Hey, you like that?
Pedagogical.
Okay, pedagogical framework to improve their daily performance and allow them to bounce back to pursue the practice of their passion in other professional settings. Team Vitality is proud to be a forerunner in this field and delighted to be associated with the Gaming Academy, which shares the same vision. Team Vitality will also serve on selection committee for potential Gaming Academy students. The program will only accept 10 students for an inaugural course beginning this October. Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, like I said, I don't consider gaming a high-level sport. I'm just saying, there's really no... I mean, this is my thing. The only time I think I would ever see esports as like a professional sport would be once it's actually put on like ESPN or something, to be honest, or like on TV, like it's just a common thing to see. Because like tournaments and stuff, you can only, I'm sure there's paid programs that you can do on like cable, or you can watch it on Twitch, or just all these, you know, on YouTube or whatever you want to call it, all these other sites. But I don't know if it's on like, it's got to be on like one of those popular like news, not news, sports channels, you know, and then it's definitely got to make the news as well on it being finally established as a high level sport. Because, you know, just because you call it a high level sport doesn't mean it really is. Because like when you compare like football or basketball to someone playing a video game, yeah, it's a different, it's completely different, way different. I just, there's really no like, there's no physical aspect to it. There's no like, I mean, the only thing I can think of is just moving your hands while playing and using a controller, and then you're like eye moving, and then, you know, you got some like sensory overload. But it's a different type of sensory overload because it's projected on a virtual. It's projected on a screen. It's a virtual experience. It's not the same as playing an actual sport where it's all physical. And there's physical and mental aspects to it. There's no virtual at all. There's nothing like that when you're playing like football or basketball or anything like that. And that's why those people get paid so much. It's because of how, well, first, it's, you know, people love watching the game so much and it's easy money. But two, it's how dangerous these jobs, these, you know, sports are and stuff. Now, that doesn't give them an excuse to just pay a baseball player who's on the bench all game and he gets paid like millions of dollars, which I think is just retarded. But still, it's, you know, he can twist his ankle or something while he's sitting on the bench. But like for the people that do play, they get paid a lot of money. And those sports are very dangerous to play. The only time it's very dangerous to play a video game is if you just sit there and not eat. And you just sit there for like 24 hours or something like that and just have the worst time of your life. Like, I couldn't do that. I'm more of a sports guy anyway. I mean, I do love playing video games, but like I've played football millions of times. I've been on sports teams, you know. I played on the football team in high school and all that. It's when you compare that to like training for a video game, it's night and day. Trust me, it's night and day. And for those that you've never played on a sport, well, I'm sorry. I'm like, you really don't have much to say unless you've actually done it. And I don't want to go with like empirical evidence or anecdotal or something like that, but trust me, it makes a huge difference that you actually know and go through it and understand what it takes to be on a team and like a football team or something like that. But hey, kudos. But I do like the gaming business school and all that. I think that's pretty cool. I do like how they're going to have classes, a management school, and all that in video game industry. That's perfectly fine. I like that. But I just hate it when people. It's just laughable when people call it like high level sport. Just stop categorizing that. It's called eSports. Okay. All right. Okay. Next article. All right, so this one's a goodie. Oh, it's all about Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft is investing significant money to go all in on gaming. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. I'm going to troll really hard. Did you hear that? Microsoft is investing money. Oh, not just regular money, significant money to go all in on gaming. Wow, that's so impressive. One thing we've been hearing for a very long time is that Microsoft takes gaming very seriously. Snoresville, or as Homer Simpson would say, boring. And as they are investing money into it to go all in on it now. We've heard it again. According to a report by Thurrott, Microsoft is investing significant money to double down on gaming. To report's credit, nothing it says is outlandish. Apparently, there is a new Xbox console in the works. This one will have GDDR6 in it, deeply integrated gaming streaming capabilities, and Xbox One systems will be forward compatible with games made for it. While also trying to double down on the investment on the game side, Microsoft is apparently investing a significant chunk of money on its content development, but again, the report does note that it will be a while before the results of this investment bear fruit. Okay, so, you know, I don't get why this Microsoft has been, let's see, the Xbox One has been really bad from the start. I think it still is really bad. Their exclusives are, a lot of their exclusives are basically sellouts. Like Halo is basically as just, oh god, don't even get me started on Halo 5. Halo 5 Master Chief Collection was a disaster. Gears of War 4 is a pretty good multiplayer game, but their campaign was garbage. Or not garbage, but just nowhere as good as what the campaign could be, or what it did in the previous days. Sea of Thieves is a game missing content and it's boring as hell. Let's see, there's microtransactions in Forza Horizon 8000. You know, they're adding microtransactions to that, so that ruins the image of that. There was Quantum Leap, which was an exclusive, but I think it was a commercial failure because the game was basically like $10 like 3 months later. Their exclusives are pretty weak. I really can't think of anything else, to be honest. What do I have that's an exclusive? Look, I'm gonna go over to my Xbox list right now, and I will Xbox One list, and I will list you the exclusives that I have for it, because I'm pretty big when it comes to exclusivity. Trust me. Let's see. Okay, there's Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Take that as you will, if you consider that exclusive. There's Halo 5. Oh, there's Rare Replay, but there's no Donkey Kong or GoldenEye on it, so that sucks. Let's see. Wow, that's really it. Wow. So, 2 exclusives that I have. 2 exclusives. That's it. Can you fucking believe that crap? 2 exclusives. Oh man, I mean, that's not considering all my digital stuff. I do have Master Chief Collection, obviously, but their list isn't that great. what was it? There was a list that I can't remember. I think it was PC Gamer for this year. We're just gonna go with this year, from what's been announced that's coming out this year. So there was a list of 20 PS4 exclusives coming out this year. 20. Now you can say quality over quantity, but we've seen what quality over quantity does for Microsoft. Okay, Halo 5. Now, how many? And there was another article saying Microsoft exclusives. Do you want to guess how many exclusives they have this year? 8. And you want to know what 7 out of the 8 exclusives they were? Indie games. Fucking indie games. Can you believe that garbage? PS4 actually had top dog exclusives like God of War, Detroit into Human, right? That was one. Yakuza 6. This is named 3 right off the bat that came out really recently. Ni no Kuni 2, which, you know, it's a console exclusive, and I know it's on PC, but still, it still counts as a console exclusive. It's ridiculous. It's just unbelievable how retarded Microsoft is. So they were doing okay with the first Xbox. The first Xbox had so many Xbox exclusives, it was ridiculous. Like Halo, Fusion Frenzy, DOA 3, just to name a few. I mean, freaking Death Row. Do you guys remember Death Row? If anybody remembers Death Row from the original Xbox, I mean, Knights of the Republic, Jade Empire. I mean, holy shit. And then 360 was pretty good too with its exclusives. Mass Effect 1 was a Microsoft exclusive, which was awesome. Perfect Dark Zero, I know you can say what you will about that, but that was an exclusive too. You know, when I know Rare has been making shit-ass titles lately, but still, it was an exclusive that was easily forgotten. But it's just Microsoft just doesn't know how to. They're just not a good gaming company. It's like 360 did better. Commercially, 360 did better than the PS3. The PS3 was a bit of a letdown in the beginning because of that whole like hard drive space and all that, and then how big the console. Anyway, so you know, you guys know. Now it's flipped the table, and now PS4 is on top of things, and they'll always be on top of Microsoft like no tomorrow. Now the only competitor that Sony has to worry about is the Switch, Nintendo, because the Switch is doing better than Microsoft, like as of now. So despite having released an Xbox One X where they were bragging all this shit about their console being amazing, oh, it's got so many teraflops, more like flops, and they released a slim console beforehand, they really shot themselves in the foot. Like, they didn't release one Xbox One exclusive to go with their console. In my opinion, they could have released a Halo game. It would have been nice to have a Halo game released. I know it would have been too soon, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, if we lived in a world to where Halo 5 didn't come out yet, and this would have been the best time for it to come out. It was an Xbox One exclusive or a big shooter like Gears of War, but now there's this Xbox One X enhancements, or just a brand new title, a new IP or something. What new IPs have there been besides Quantum Leap and Sea of Thieves? Sea of Thieves is terrible. Terrible. Look up the Actman video of Sea of Thieves being the most boring game of all time. It is the most boring game of all time. When you have accolades that say it's the funniest game I've ever played or something, that's not a good sign, because that doesn't talk about how great the game is. It's just saying it's funny. Funny in what context? Oh, it's pirates, so it's funny. Oh, it's funny because it's so bad it's good. I don't know. Like, oh Lord. And when they release weekly updates and that's their marketing strat to get people to stay on their side, yeah, that's not a good. That's really bad, Microsoft. That was one of your big exclusives to have this year for your console, and you fucked it all up thanks to Rare. So now when you hear that they're doubling down on, they want to focus on gaming. They say that every year at E3, literally every year. Phil Spencer is a fucking liar. He's a freaking liar. So I don't even care what E3 has in store for Xbox. Oh, Halo 6. It's probably gonna look cool and all, but you know what? That's what happened with Halo 5 in the beginning. I thought it looked cool in the beginning, and then it looks like garbage. You know what's funny is that when I was seeing Halo 5 gameplay footage on multiplayer, I knew that it was gonna suck, and I was right. It was definitely not even close to what Halo was supposed to be. Not even close. You can say Halo died when Halo Reach came out. So yeah, let's see when when this company gets its shit together. Hey, my thing is to start reviving all those old franchises that franchises that died out. Oh yeah, what's another game that was an exclusive on Xbox? Oh, Morrowind, Elder Scrolls. I rest my case. Yeah, I know. The original Xbox, to me, I think the original Xbox was the best Microsoft console to this day still. And that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad saying that. They were doing it right in the beginning. Even if they were the underdog. You always gotta appreciate the underdog. Okay, so that's enough about that. Oh my god, we got 20 minutes left. Alright, so this is really neat. This is a neat one. Okay, this one talks about microtransactions. So, nifty new site warns you which games have microtransactions. Microtransactions, you know, ooh, makes me have such a black heart. It makes me just want to hate game developers. You know, for the companies that put microtransactions in their game that is based on, that helps change the gameplay and all that, you know, for the worst and gives players an advantage. Don't know those type of microtransactions like Battlefront 2. Well, you know, it really puts a stale taste in my mouth on how game developers are, and then other game developers think it's okay. Activision, Warner Brothers. So, microtransactions, paid DLC, free to play, but pay to win. Yeah, all thorny topics for gamers as they involve. This is really tiny text. Why would they make it so small? Involve having to fork over hard-earned money for dubious gains. And now there's a community-built site where you can check your games ahead of time to see if they have microtransactions and see, if so, how they work. This is awesome. The site Mantraction, I like that. Microtransaction.zone launched a few days ago. It is relatively diverse. Limited library of games at the moment. Site creator Igrat said on Reddit, all content would be manually verified. Excuse me. Each game entry on Microtransaction Zone comes with a series of icons which are tagged if the game possesses that kind of DLC or microtransactions. It is a clever way of showing at a glance what kind of game you're in for when you search for it on the site. Each entry also has a short summary of how microtransactions work, which begins with basically Game X. Here's an example of what a proper entry looks like. Dragon Age Inquisition. Basically, Dragon Age Inquisition has lots of different DLC, including plot essential, lore-heavy story expansions, and a premium currency. Yet, the currency is only for online play. The zone includes subtle, cheeky jabs at the most prevalent forms of microtransactions in the industry. For example, the button, which indicates a game has a cosmetic option, which doesn't affect gameplay, is called Horse Armor DLC. So, roundly mocked for being so useless, overpriced piece of in-game bling, the phrase itself has become shorthand for the entire category of DLC. Oh my god. Other categories include, it's not gambling, we swear, for games with randomized loot boxes. But first, you'll need a contract, games with subscription costs. It's not just cosmetic, downloadable content that changes the gameplay, expansive expansions. Quote, the site's creators actual content for actual money. Infinite money hole, exactly what it sounds like, but if you need a primer, see mobile casino of your choice. Spotless for games without paid extras of any kind. According to the mission statement from the site's creators, the zone takes basic info on the games from the Giant Bomb API, the same community-run a database that Twitch uses. Specifics of the DLC are cataloged and summarized by the creators themselves. Oh, sorry. It's like a really intense, like, metal solo happening in the background. Okay, so how exciting is that? That we have to have a dedicated site. A dedicated site made by it could be made by you or me. To show what games have microtransactions and what games don't. Don't you love that? Remember when that wasn't a goddamn thing? Remember the only thing that was missing from games was just, oh geez, I don't know, just stuff missing because it was just poor game development? But it was seen from the get-go that the game was bad. We didn't have to wait 2 years to know if it was going to get better or not. We didn't have to have this free content update and all this other crap, or taking microtransactions out and leaving it without. It's too late, you know, it's too late. You already fucked us over. You already scarred us for life. We didn't have to worry about that. Back in the day, when you got a game and you played it and it sucked, it sucked. There was no content updates. There was no need to make it better. Because fuck that. We don't need that. You don't need that. Sure, you wasted your money, but you can always return and get something back from, you know, maybe like $2 from GameStop if you're really that desperate. But that was the price you paid for. That was the consequences of playing games back in the day. And when I mean back in the day, I'm talking about like the 90s or maybe just before microtransactions was a thing, and people were starting to get really lazy with this way of doing things. Game developers have been getting really lazy with it. They don't want to make complete games anymore, especially AAA titles. Remember when AAA titles were actually AAA titles and they actually gave a shit about stuff? Well, now we don't even get that anymore. We just get companies that are shut down, thrown out the window, games that are half-assed, games that people play that are half-assed, and they find some enjoyment, which I don't understand why they do it, because they're just wasting their time, and it's just a brain manipulating strategy on the weak-minded. Exactly. It's true. That's exactly what they do. This is what microtransactions do. It's based on weak-minded and people who like to gamble. And gambling has to do with willpower. If you have weak willpower, you will gamble all your money away. I don't care if you're a millionaire or you're some guy living in Japan who just sits on his ass all day eating ramen all day. A little racist, but that's fine. They're more racist than I am. I can tell you that much. That is a fact. But you get the idea. Back in the day, I mean, what game did I have back in the day, like during Super Nintendo or N64 days, that I had was bad? There was really not that many bad games for those consoles. Now, I know there's probably a huge list of it, right? I mean, we all know that the ET game on the original Nintendo shut down basically shut down the gaming industry pretty close, and then Nintendo had to be the badasses. And I know there are plenty of bad games. But listen, when you're talking about ownership, with me, I didn't own one bad game for the Super Nintendo. One bad game for the N64. And that's when you were able to rent games too. Renting games was the shit back in the day. And you didn't have to worry about microtransactions. Like, can you imagine renting games these days that have all these microtransactions? It fucking sucks. It destroys that type of economy even more. But, you know, renting games is like a thing of the past anyway, unless you get GameFly. But I'm like, do you even hear anybody talking about GameFly? I don't see anything advertised for GameFly anymore. Nothing. Redbox, great. One day to play Battlefront 2 or Destiny, and it's like, what? I have to pay for this shit? What? Wait, you mean I have to pay for this microtransaction stuff for Shadow of War? What? And like, you have the game for like one day, and you're like, so I'm paying more than what? You're just paying so much. It's just not worth it. Some people don't look up this stuff anyway. So when they buy a game, which I don't understand why people don't do your research when you're buying games these days, because this is stuff that you should look for. All these red flags, all these fucking red flags, and I'm glad this site exists because of that. But if you're somebody that bought Shadow of War and or just renting or whatever you want to call it, and you're playing it, and then you find out that you have to pay more for it for microtransactions for a game you don't really even own, renting per se, then what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Do you just return the game, or you buy it and you just beat it and then you return it? Then you're actually paying money like you actually bought the damn game, because eventually it just totals up to the full price. And now they're getting rid of microtransactions in Shadow of War. Like, make up your mind, people. But yeah, basically, yeah, I don't like. I'm always smart when I buy games because I don't buy this type of microtransaction bullshit games. Now, I do admit I did get Destiny 2 for Christmas. It was a gift, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed Destiny 2 for what it had. I think there's plenty of content in it. I don't know what people are talking about, but anyway. But still, Activision did add microtransactions in it and a lot of stupid stuff that didn't need to be in it that they should have learned from the first time. There's articles all over it. You can look it up. Battlefront 2 is another example. I bought it because it looked like a really great Star Wars game, but then the story sucked. It lacked content, and then the multiplayer was just, well, we all know the multiplayer. It was a very dark side multiplayer. But now they're trying to fix it. They're trying to remedy it, and I think they're doing a lot better job. Kudos to the gamers who have fought hard to not play their shitty games. So the fact that we have to have this site is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's a blessing. But yeah, as soon as they started adding useless content, useless DLC, just to get more bang for their buck, or whatever you want to call it, it's retarded. It's retarded. Basically anything, yeah, basically anything before that, it was fine. You know, you got what you paid for. That's what you get. You learn your lesson. You don't just go in half-assed. Like I said, I didn't own any crappy games. Hey, how you doing, James? I'm in this huge fact rant. No, I wouldn't even call it a rant. It's just a huge. I'm just making a point. I didn't own any games. I didn't rent any games that were bad back in the day. I was lucky that I didn't rent any bad games for like Super Nintendo, N64, or even the GameCube or anything like that. I just didn't. I just knew I mean, first of all, you didn't have to worry about DLC or anything. Like, they didn't worry about expansion. Didn't have to worry about paywalls. Didn't have to worry about any of that or contracts or anything. You just bought the game and you played. And that's what I like about PS4 for a lot of exclusive games for like PS4, because God of War doesn't have it. Ni no Kuni doesn't have it. Season passes are a little different. I get that, and you know, I think it's okay depending on how. I waited years to buy Postal 3. That's great. Oof. But you guys get the idea. It's ridiculous, but now we have to just be so careful when we're buying these games. We have to be so careful. So I'll show you the article one more time before we move on. This is nifty new site warns you which games have microtransactions. That's microtransaction.zone. If you want to ever check out a game's status and if they're gonna upcoming games that are gonna have microtransactions or not, or if you just want to look up it for current games and see what they have. By golly, Miss Molly, let's just, you know, God, let that end. Monster Hunter World is a perfect game that doesn't need microtransactions. It just has the content already in there, and it's every bang for your buck. It is a fantastic game. If you want to play a game that has full of content and everything, or Witcher 3, Ni no Kuni 2, God of War, just Yakuza series. I mean, you get the idea. Okay, anyway. Exactly. Metal Gear Solid 5. This man said it. Thank you, James. Exactly. Microtransactions for Metal Gear. Shadow of War. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's so bad. Well, Konami's just a shit-faced company anyway. I'm just glad Hideo Kojima's not in there anymore, because that man's got too much honor to be in that corrupted-ass company. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so next one. This one's a little funsies one. This one's talking about for children. A huge gaming festival is heading to Reading. I think, yeah, the Readings Festival. Readings Festival is huge. A lot of great bands go and play there. Like my favorite Blink-182, except Blink-182 is garbage now. Thanks, Alkaline Trio guy. Gamers in Reading can now book tickets for a massive gaming festival heads to town this summer. Rapture Gaming Festival has organized its first UK tour across 5 venues between July and October, including a stop-off in Reading. The 3-day event will kick off the launch of a 60-hour bring-your-own-computer LAN party, which starts 10 a.m. on Friday. That is pretty cool. BYOC. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start using that now. That's amazing. How have I not used that acronym before? July 27 with a series of tournaments hosted on dedicated private servers. That is also awesome. What? That is amazing. The real show will run on Saturday, July 28th and July 29th at the River Mead Leisure Complex in Richfield Avenue. The weekend promises a variety of different gaming zones, dedicated Minecraft areas, oh god no, virtual reality setups, retro gaming zones, and much more. The brainchild of European gaming events company Fragers and UK-based show promoters Kilimanjaro, the festival brings the virtual gaming world onto live stage. Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it goes off showing like what they have, what type of zones. On the tabletop gaming zone, which I'll probably stay out of there because it's going to smell real bad. And I'm a guy who likes playing tabletop stuff, but I've been to plenty of comic book stores, and I know how bad it can smell when people are playing tabletop. It's pretty messy. Sorry guys, it's just a fact. You need to bathe once in a while. Yeah, it's just too much of a collective for me to handle. So, yeah, how are you going to bring your own computer? Are you going to bring your giant rig, or are you going to bring your laptop? I mean, laptops are fine and all, but you better have a pretty good one if you're going to play some really intense games. But I think it's... Now, bringing a computer isn't too bad, but yeah, I would be really, really skeptical on bringing my computer and having it surrounded by strangers that I don't know, especially about how much money that I put in my computer. Well over $1,000 in parts. You got a little camel pack? Yeah, that's funny. Minecraft, yeah, I don't really care too much about Minecraft. Minecraft was a thing, a phase I went through like real fast, and I got out of it real fast. So yeah, this is really cool. I do like this though, because it'd be kind of neat to see how this goes. Dedicated private servers, that's intense. I mean, that's really cool in an intensive way. I'm glad that they have that, and it's yeah, that's pretty cool. 60 hours, so 2.5 days. Why don't they just go with 72? Anyway, okay. But yeah, it's cool. Tournaments. Okay, so the tournaments are hosted on private dedicated servers. That's fine. That makes sense. But yeah, there's all this other cool stuff, like the retro gaming zone would be pretty cool. Tabletop, cosplay village. Oh, Well then. That ought to be exciting to see some elf ladies in bikinis. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Minecraft is still a phenomenal thing today. How it's just shaping so many ways on how people see games and stuff, and how they play. And kids love Minecraft like no tomorrow. It's like the new Mario, basically. It's like Mario 1 all over. But yeah, Minecraft is, man, when that first came out, that was just insane. That was insane. But yeah, this is really cool. So if you're in the UK and you want to stop by to this, I highly recommend it. Because I'm sure you meet some cool people, right? Maybe game developers will show up with something. I don't know. That's pretty cool. All right, we came to our last article. Right? Wait, no. Actually, I already talked about this. Wow. I already talked about this. Okay, so this article, I'll just... Exactly. Yeah, overseas, and especially how dangerous it is over in the UK, yeah, definitely not going. Video games for a varsity layer could happen more than you think. So I'll just summarize. So universities are wanting to add eSports as part of their curriculum on their campus, trying to bring that gaming influence into their academic curriculum. So I guess they want to make it a thing. They want to add esports to schools. I already did an article on this before, but that was, I guess it was a little different. That was like opening up an academy for gaming and stuff, and have gaming business management. But this strictly just talks about how video games would be added as a thing to do professionally, or for just part of a school system in like a college campus or something, which is kind of neat. It's pretty cool. Let's see, yeah. Oh, high schools, okay. Yeah, so I guess they're going to start trying to implement that. It's really insane how that's becoming a thing. Like, how much first of all, the government has to approve this being allowed in their schools, like especially the president of the school, and then the like so many political officials, like the governor, and then I'm sure the president or something. You know, they have to approve this stuff. They can't just add it to the school curriculum and get away with it, you know. It's not like that. There was like this one movie that did that. Like he started his own school. It was a really stupid movie. Like, it made no sense. Like, there's this guy who didn't get accepted into a college, and he was so upset that he decided, because this would trigger anybody to do this, but he decided to make his own school, his own society, and have people be accepted of all shapes and sizes, whatever you want to fucking call it. And then he had his own thing, and then he got caught because the school is illegal, because he doesn't have any paperwork or legal rights to start a school foundation and teaching people stuff. And that's basically the whole movie, is him trying to make it not get shut down. It's a really retarded movie. So it doesn't work like it doesn't work like just like a snap of a finger. Like, I'm gonna start putting this in our schools. If they add Dark Souls in college, I would graduate with a master's degree. Hey! Beat Dark Souls with Guitar Hero. Bum bum bum. Use the guitar from Guitar Hero. Yeah, that'd be really great. But so that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess we'll see how far it goes. I mean, it's experimental right now. Obviously, it's definitely in its infant stage, and we'll see where it goes. So, well then, we have reached the hour mark of the NIKO show, and I think we've covered a lot of interesting stuff. I got to ramble and talk about a lot of cool factual stuff, and I'm excited to share this with all of you. Once again, happy birthday, Jonah LaBelle. She was here earlier. I haven't heard anything from her. But happy birthday to her. And thanks, Jams Vu, for stopping by. If you like what you saw and you want more NIKO show content, or you just want more NIKO, check me out on the Twitch channel. Follow me. And then check out my YouTube channel, with the links below. I hope to see you and hear from you again. Like I said, I do the NIKO show when I have days off. So the next day off I have is next Monday. I think, right? No, wait. It could be, let's see. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yep. Next Monday is when I have a day off. How exciting. I can't wait to work 4 days in a row. I have a day off tomorrow, but I like to do this on like one of my days off out of the 2. So you got a taste of what's to come. Hope to see you guys again. You can always check out more Nico Show episodes that I've done previously on the YouTube channel, and then on Twitch if it's not expired. So thanks again for everybody who stopped by. This has been NikoTheLegend. Don't do drugs.